You are now listening to the J Porks Experience. Listen free on iTunes or at theandydareshow.com. Now, here's Jay!
Yo, what is the word, people? Welcome to another action-packed edition of the J Porks Experience. I'm J Porks, with me as always on the other side of the glass, making sure this is a well-oiled podcast machine. Every week is nobody. Got things to get to, but first I have something that's been on my mind for a couple of days, and I just wanted to throw it out there to see if anyone else feels the same way as I do. Now, I want to start this off by saying that I don't want to sound un-American or pro-terrorist or anything like that. But at what point in time did we decide as a nation that we're going to celebrate our freedom, our alleged freedom, by blowing up illegal explosives, much to the annoyance of our podcast hosting neighbors, such as myself? When did we decide that that was a thing that we do? And I'm not talking about the Macy's 4th of July Spectacular. That's cool. You guys want to, do it the safest way possible and, pretty colors in the sky. That's all fine and dandy. Go watch a fireworks show. But if you're one of these redneck hooligans who gets a bunch of enough illegal fireworks to take down a small country, and you put on a show for your white trash neighbors and friends way past midnight on a day where a podcast host, who's also a waiter, who needs to go into work the next day, is trying to get some sleep, you could understand the displeasure one might have. So I wanted to examine this whole thing. I went to the Wikipedias, I went to all that, and I wanted to see, how does fireworks and American history how does fireworks and the Declaration of Independence, how do these things coincide with each other? Well, let's look at fireworks. Is fireworks an American thing? Maybe, maybe we're celebrating, the birth of fireworks. We invented it, right? Oh, no, we didn't invent it. The Chinese invented it. Americans did not invent fireworks. The Chinese invented fireworks. Just like the Chinese invented the spaghetti that all the Italians come in to eat at my restaurant every day. It's one thing. So fireworks, the actual fireworks, are un-American. They're Chinese. They're a Chinese invention. So then I said, you know what? Sometimes it helps to break down the word. Remember that episode of Seinfeld where George Costanza is describing manure? And he says if you break down manure, it's ma and newer. So it's actually two words by itself. The two words apart are actually not so bad. I mean, besides the fact that it smells like shit and it's discarded fecal matter from horses, besides that, yeah, the word's not so bad. So I tried to think about it. Did Americans invent fire? No, cavemen invented fire when this shit was Pangea and all the continents were together. I'd assume. I'm sure it's written on some cave somewhere. In hieroglyphics. Man. Side note, if you're going to become a rapper, hieroglyphics is a great word to use. You can formulate a lot of punchlines out of hieroglyphics. Because it could be terrific and, I'm sure there's other words. But anyway, so check the hieroglyphics. We didn't invent fire as Americans. America wasn't invented. Did we invent working? Well, no, because the way America was founded, and actually I once had a history teacher. Well, I didn't have a history teacher. I sat in on a lecture that a history teacher was giving about how he teaches his English class about the founding fathers and all that stuff. He teaches it with the British textbooks from the British point of view. This is a nation founded on thieves. People who, You ever get your paycheck and you say, wow, those taxes suck. I could be getting a lot more money if I didn't have to pay these taxes. Well, imagine if there was like a land you can go to where nobody lived and you could just build your own house and get your own paycheck and try not to pay taxes. That's America. These people were thieves. These people were tax evaders that the IRS would hunt down and kill right now. That's how America was founded. A bunch of people who said, fuck taxes. Fuck Parliament. I got a boat, and half of us might get to America and live. Besides the whole Christopher Columbus taking the Indians as slaves. Native Americans, I should say. So we didn't invent working. Working was happening before America was happening. So besides being loud and obnoxious, I don't understand what is the American values behind blowing up fireworks. I mean, yeah, loud, obnoxious, that's very American. But I just don't get it. Like, this is why I can't have children, because I wouldn't be able to teach them anything. Daddy? Yes, son? Why do we blow things up on the 4th of July? Well, son, it's very simple. We as Americans are celebrating our freedom. And what we do right there, that explosion, is just a small little sample of what we would do to a country of little brown people that doesn't believe in our thoughts, beliefs, and or way of life. That's America, Jimmy. That's America. If you disagree with us, we will blow you up. So every year on the 4th of July, we have a barbecue, and we blow stuff up to remind foreign countries that if they don't agree with our freedom, that we will come and we will murder them and murder their children. We will send our hired murderers, also known as the military, over there to force our way of life on you. We will force democracy on you, whether you want it or not. That's America, Jimmy. Oh! History lesson. I mean, I would not be able to have children. This is the reason why I can't have children, because I can't pass along knowledge. I don't know. I don't know who was the first guy that said, let's blow things up. And let's backtrack a second. They're illegal. If I had a friend of a color, if I had a Spanish friend or an African American friend stop by, or even a really tan white kid, if I had one of my friends stop by right now to sell me a nickel bag of marijuana, if they had their system on in their radio bumping real loud in their car, if they had their car radio bumping real loud, I would be in prison right now. But the white trash outside, they're allowed to blow shit up till midnight. Till midnight? I could understand if I was in Brooklyn, like when I lived in Canarsie. I was like 7 years old. I'll never forget this. On East 94th Street, there's a house across the street from me that's for sale. So it's vacant. So the people on the block, they broke into the house and they went on the roof and they were blowing off fireworks. And you know how, like, you put something down to sort of, you put a piece of tinfoil there so you don't ruin the ground when you're blowing up fireworks. These guys had a metal dumpster. We called the cops and they said, we'll try. Cops were not even interested. So I doubt if I call the, and that was on a bunch of black folks. So I doubt if I call the cops on my family-oriented white trash neighbors. Hey guy, how are you? Happy America Day. Have a hot dog and have a hamburger for my barbecue. I'm giving them all accents like they don't live in New York. But you see my point. Fireworks are illegal, and yet people are still doing it. I break the law, I go to prison. What's the fucking thing with this? I'm not saying I want to break the law, but I do it. I don't get what the deal is with all that. I would just like to know. I would like somebody to explain it to me. And I'm a white guy. My last name is Dysenhouse. I'm Hebrew. But for some reason, I'm like, cops see me, they want to throw me in jail. I got this please lock me up face. I got this face that says, I think I'm smarter than you, and I'm probably not. Unreal. So, you can do illegal things, just not if you're me. And that's basically the foundation of America. So remember, that's America. Anyway, I think it's about time we get to the list of websites you need to go to help keep me in business. Got on a little tangent there. First of all, I needed to go to where I was born and bred, concertconfessions.com. That's for all your live music, news, and reviews. For the fans, by the fans. You can catch right now at Concert Confessions Dave Rawlings' Machine at the Sheldon Concert Hall in St. Louis. That's on June 25th. Our man Bradley Darby's got that for you. And when you're at concertconfessions.com, you know that scrolling down the page and clicking the Amazon ads would be a good thing for you to do, would be a good thing for us to have you do. So just you can do that. And you could also, while we're on websites you need to go to help keep me in business, you can go to theandydeershow.com. Just don't forget the. And you can get all your Deer Network podcasting needs, whether that's the Andy Deer Show, the flagship show, whether that's the J Porks Experience, whether that's the Tyler Kale Show, I need Tyler Kale to make me a doppelganger. But I asked him to do it, and then I realized you can't just have genius work like that. You need to give it time. Give it time to simmer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get him some pictures that I like of myself. Maybe I should add him on Facebook. I don't know. Maybe I'll join the future. Get him some pictures, and we will get my doppelganger. You can't rush genius. And when you're at theandydeershow.com, you can click the Amazon ads there as well. Click the Uncle Bub's barbecue ads. Click all of Andy's ads. Andy's got a whole little thing going on in Chi-Town. Got a bunch of good sponsorship. Check his ass out. You could also go to ChristinaRocks.com, hang the DJ, 89xradio.com every Sunday. I was wise enough to wake up this Sunday, and I got to listen to her, and what I came in on is, I'm gonna get the playlist right now. Wow. I guess I came in around Violent Femmes American Music, because I remember that. I felt very 4th of July-y with that. It's a Mazzy Star in there. We got Ben Folds Brick. I didn't know I knew that song. And I do. How cool is that? I feel a little more intellectual now that I know a Ben Folds 5 song. And of course, Me Puppets Like a Fire, for me. The version off Too High to Die, the hidden track version. Not the... Oh, come on, Jay. Not the Me Puppets 2 version, that's very sun-scorched, deserty, but the more perked up Too High to Die version. Both equally good. Just point it out. And you could also go to anniequiet.com. That's your source for quality. And all of our headlines this morning are powered by Annie Quiet. Paul McCartney's got a new video out. You can watch Paul McCartney recalls a musician's journey in the early days video. The what is that? Earnestness of early days is mirrored in its exceptional video. Damn. I gotta learn how to read. Here's the big one. Pink Floyd set to release their new album, The Endless River, in October. It comes from, there was some sessions they were doing. Let's open it right now. Now that my internet works, let's open it. what's her name? Polly Sampson, who is Roger Gilmore's wife, I think? David Gilmore's wife, I'm sorry. She tweeted, by the way, Pink Floyd album out in October. It's called The Endless River. And then someone shared a photo on Facebook, I think. Remember this photo? It wasn't what you thought it was. From Polly Sampson on Twitter, by the way, the Pink Floyd album out in October is called The Endless River. Based on the 1994 sessions is Rick Wright's swan song, and it's very beautiful. So during the Division Bell sessions, there was going to be a side project originally titled The Big Spliff that Nick Mason spoke about, which is why there were Richard Wright tracks on it. But now there will be a new Pink Floyd album without the help of Roger Waters. I saw this. I was outside smoking a cigarette at work. I saw this. I said, get the fuck out of here. These guys are in the same room together? I shared it on Facebook. People were like, are you kidding? I went and saw my father. He said, they're in the same room? No. And then later on in the day, it broke that Roger Waters was not on the album. So the world was right. We were wrong. So yeah, that should be. I don't hear this. It's also been read that there is no touring planned behind this album. Death Grips. Okay, Death Grips. Death Grips is a weird fucking band that I don't really even listen to them, so I can't tell you how bad their music is. But from what I understand, they're not a bunch of people I would like. A couple of years ago, they canceled their Bonnaroo appearance. They sent their gear over there, and they sent a note that says we're not playing or something. Well, this year, right before the band was ready to take off and go on tour with Nine Inch Nails and Soundgarden, they hand wrote a note, shared it on the internet, and is it written out for me? Yes, it is. Reverend Justino wrote it out for me, so I don't have to read this asshole's handwriting. It reads as follows. We are now at our best, and so Death Grips is over. We have officially stopped. All currently scheduled live tour dates are canceled. Our upcoming double album, The Powers That Be, will still be delivered worldwide later this year via the Harvest Third World Records. Death Grips was and always has been a conceptual art exhibition anchored by sound and vision, above and beyond a band. To our truest fans, please stay legend. Whatever the fuck that means. You were about to open for Nine Inch Nails and Soundgarden. First of all, think about it this way. If you're Death Grips, if you're whatever band, and you're playing with Nine Inch Nails and Soundgarden, you're getting about 35 minutes a night. Why don't you just play that before you break up? There is no scheduled replacement for Nine Inch Nails and Soundgarden's opener, which actually would make me want to go more if Death Grips wasn't there. Trent Reznor tweeted out, he wrote a tweet that said, I apologize that I thought those guys would keep it together. Which makes that's exactly what it is. You thought they'd keep it together. I didn't even know they were touring. Death Grips. What are they? They're not a band? What are they again? Let's read it. I just want to go back and read this. They're not a band. They've always been a conceptual art exhibition anchored by sound and vision. Yeah. I'm not a podcast. I'm an art exhibition anchored by sound with no vision. You can just say whatever you want to be nowadays. Also, in Dublin, Jack White was playing, and they pulled the fucking plug on him. And he cared that much. He kept it moving. Jack White was in Dublin last weekend, playing the Royal Hospital Kilmainham. Wow, where he somehow turned some of the venue austerity into rock and roll magic. Jesus Christ. Towards the end of an encore performance of Leadbelly's Goodnight Irene. Nice. Nice. The venue pulled the plug on the sound for curfew. Undeterred, Jack walked out to the front of the stage, asked everyone to quiet down, and belted out the chorus sans amplification. The crowd joined in. Instead of having the night cut short, the audience got a special moment. You can check out the video for yourself. The sound gets cut around 4:14 mark. That's rad. The night also featured Jack bringing onto the stage Alison Mosshart of The Kills and the Dead Weather to perform for a performance of the Blunderbuss standout Love Interruption. Rad. Jack White finishes in style. Speaking of Jack White, Third Man Records teases new Dead Weather single, announces new live White Stripes album for Vault release. The latest Dead Weather song is grimy and groovy and super dead weathery. They teased it. And on TV this week is a lot of reruns. So we'll regroup and I'll come right back after this.
Hey everybody, it's Andy from the Andy Dare Show here. Just want to say that I am super proud to have the J Porks Experience be part of Dare Network. And if you want to keep my little podcast network completely free, all you got to do is go to theandydareshow.com, look on the right-hand side of the page, and you'll click on the Amazon banners for all your Amazon needs, and you'll tip your cap to the J Porks Experience and all the fine broadcasting here on Dare Network. Also, be sure to follow Jay on Twitter at JPorks, Instagram at JPorks, and jporks.blogspot.com. Thank you so much for listening, and back to the J Porks Experience.
And we're back. Couple of days ago, I was looking at this show. I was looking at The Offspring, Bad Religion, and Pennywise, the Stone Pony Summer Stage. August 1st. Sounds like fun. Tickets were $55 fucking dollars, but that's not my beef here. For an extra $25, you can acquire yourself VIP press lounge seating. Basically, what it is for $25, you get to be in the press pit. You get to pay money for that. I mean, I always thought, I've been going to shows and writing reviews for 5-6 years, maybe. I always thought you had to earn that. I didn't know that you can just purchase your press credentials. And they're not calling it press credentials, they're calling it something else, but that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. And while we're talking about things in music that annoy me, someone tell me the next time the Flaming Lips release some rock and roll, okay? I'll listen to their rock and roll. If Miley Cyrus wants to play rock and roll music with them, I really don't give a fuck. I don't care who it is. What was that? I clicked on the new collaboration? What is that supposed to be? I guess I like torture. Press box reserved seating is what it's called at Bad Religion Offspring. I thought press box reserved seating is for press. And quick question, if you were dating Ronda Rousey, would you break up with her or would you just keep your face in the shape that it's in? I'm just throwing it out there. Because I was watching her on SportsCenter the other day. The fight took 9 seconds. Not that I'm into like UFC. I don't. I'm not into boxing. I don't get the whole fascination with people watching other people beat each other's brains in. But before the girl gets in the ring, she doesn't look half bad. So then, as a guy, I start thinking with my penis, and then and then as a real guy, I start thinking of escape routes, and I just don't see how that would end well. Like, you want to talk about a bad breaker upper, she will break your face. She will break your face. And and I can't for the life of me understand. I know I'm running through things quick. I've had a week off. I got a lot of stuff. I'm sorry. I just want to talk. Last week, every week, I'm clicking on these list fucking articles. If you're a website and you're gonna make a list, just make one fucking list. There is no need for me to give you an extra 9 clicks. Do you care about the 9 clicks that bad? Is that extra 9 clicks gonna get you another quarter from Amazon or wherever the hell you're sponsoring from? And all these websites with the lists, whether it's Rolling Stone or it simply comes down to this: a band that you like sucks, and us as a website, whatever website we are, have more readers than you, so your opinion doesn't matter. Here, click these links. Click here. Oh, you can be an open-minded music listener until we tell you it sucks. Then what we tell you is accepted. Until we tell you it sucks, then we'll tell you what's acceptable listening. We're in charge. And if you thought your opinion mattered, just look at the difference in people that follow us on social media. We are the machine. Crazy. And speaking of the 4th of July, I'm just getting over it. They showed a little when they were shown. I'm not sure if it was Channel 4, Channel 2, whoever had the 4th of July spectacular, probably Channel 7. I passed by the TV in my living room and I see my mother watching. I see Lionel Richie's on TV. And I see the rocks around them, and I'm like, that looks fucking familiar. And then I remembered I've smoked weed on stage at Red Rocks. And I tweeted the picture. I just don't. Why? Why do you need my extra 6 clicks? That's all I want to know. And another thing that's taken over your popular culture this week, last week, this week, the week before, it's NBA free agency. Now, let me just say this about the NBA. Mark your calendars. 2016, 2017. That season, they will lock the players out. There will be less than 82 games that season. If I'm still doing the podcast, I'll give you a good I told you so. I probably am going to be still doing the podcast. It's not like there's much graduating from this. But the owners are going to lock the players out simply because the players have too much power. I'll tell you why the players have too much power. Because LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, and about 15 of the best players in the league can go out to dinner right now and decide the fate and the future of the league. And that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing for businesses. Also, the Clippers sold for $2 billion when the Milwaukee Bucks just sold for $55 million. The math is not adding up here. And then you read on the bottom line, Donald Sterling has Alzheimer's. You didn't think he has Alzheimer's? He's going around dropping N-bombs and fucking saying shit like that, pretending like it's 1940. You didn't think he had old man's disease? Come on. But I promise you that the NBA will lock out. And I'll go one further. As a Knicks fan, can we not sign Carmelo Anthony? I don't want this guy on my team. I don't want to sign him to a max contract. I'd rather just do it with little integral pieces. And all these people that think Carmelo Anthony is going to go play with LeBron, I can't see it happening. I can't see Carmelo Anthony going to defer. And I can, in no way, shape, or form do I see LeBron James coming back to Cleveland. Well, why would he do that? What's the point in going back to Cleveland? What's in Cleveland? Have they become significantly better? No. The only thing Ohio has is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Foxy Shazam. That's all they got. I don't know. I mean, I see him going to Miami. Actually, that's all I see. For me, for my money, you want to bet the mortgage? I just say he goes back to Miami. Nice weather in South Beach. You got to think that these guys being on the same team for 4 straight years would have talked about this. But it is what it is. Shit, man. Welcome to the summer. That's all I got to say about waking up this morning. Wow. It's like 95 degrees when I woke up. And with the summer comes warm weather. And with warm weather, comes options. And I'll explain. I tweeted the other day that I'm open to taking this podcast to a remote location because all I do is record it. I don't actually air it anywhere. So I can take this beat up laptop and I can go anywhere that there's people who want to listen to me do the podcast live. So I wouldn't mind doing that. Give me time to practice my stand-up routine. Is the U.S. out of soccer yet? They are? Good. Are you guys still pretending to care? You guys watching MLS? No? So you only cared about soccer when it was popular for that week. Oh, okay. Just checking. See, I never pretended it was cool. See, I'm not a fashionable American. But that's just me. All right. Let's get through the list of websites you need to go to help keep me in business one more time before I get up out of here and go make the dough. Literally and figuratively, since they do serve pizza there. I needed to go to concertconfessions.com, where I was born and bred. That's for all your live music, news and reviews, for fans, by fans. Be reading some stuff from me fairly soon, possibly. I also need you to go to theandydeershow.com. That's for this. That's for all your Deer Network podcasting needs. The Tyler Care Show. I mean, don't interrupt him when he's doing my doppelganger, though. Genius can't be rushed. But when I do get it, I have a feeling I'm going to be happy about it. You know, not being fat anymore, it's not just going to be Shrek or Jack Black. It's going to be something creative. That's good. It's real good. I'm growing a beard, by the way. I'm trying. I will update you. I will update you on Instagram. So, theandydeershow.com. Don't forget the. It's for all your podcast needs. Andy Deer Show, Tyler Kale Show, Jay Pork's Experience. All that. And you click on his ads. You go to, and if you're ever in like Chicago, or you go to Uncle Bub's, you go to the record stores that Andy suggests, because he's always got his hands on good music and good food. So I'm assuming that those two places rock. That's just me. Hang the DJ. That's 89xradio.com every Sunday morning. ChristinaRocks.com. She's got news. She's got news. She's got a radio show. Throwback alternative like it's Thursday. Only on Sundays. Every Sunday, 8 to 12. And of course, your source for quality. You can always go to anniequiet.com. Folks, till next week, whiskey, weed, and Warren Zevon. Late.
This has been the J Porks Experience. Thank you so much for listening.